Hello and welcome to the latest Bulwell TV video. Since the 1960s, Bulwell has undergone many changes which has affected all Bulwellites, some good and some bad. I've already covered some of these in earlier videos, but in this video we'll take a look at some more of them, the history behind them and their place in Bulwell town. When people talk about their favourite shops in Bulwell which have disappeared over the years, there are generally two stores whose names come to the fore. Woolworths, whose demise has been well documented over the years, and the other is Ford's, the family store. Established in 1932, Ford's were forward-thinking in their outlook, selling fair quality goods at cheap prices. Although well remembered for selling clothes and bed linen, they sold almost anything for the modern growing family. Ford's were a Nottingham company who had their head offices on Wigman Road off Glaisdale Drive. Latterly owned by the Pink family, at one stage every part of Nottingham had a branch of Ford's on its high street: Bulwell, Hucknall, Aspley, Beeston, several in the city centre, and even as far away as Shirebrook, Mansfield and Derby. Sadly there aren't many photographs of Bulwell Ford's, these are the few we've managed to gather together. In 2000, perhaps after trying to expand too far and with the surge of a large modern discount supermarket, Ford's went into liquidation and disappeared from the high street forever. In the years gone by, during those hot summer months, crowds of people, not just from Bulwell, but from further afield, would flock to the Bulwell Lido. The Lido opened in 1937, designed by architect Ray Finlay. It finally closed in September 2003, despite significant local protests. Supposedly the closure was due to the high cost of some essential repair and the low usage. However, anybody who drove past the Lido in those latter years would have been hard pushed to see even a blade of grass between the crowds of tanning bodies. It's hard for anyone born in the 1980s to imagine a Bulwell full of trains, bridges and stations, but this used to be the case until the beach and cuts of the 1960s altered the Bulwell landscape forever. It's hard to see now where even some of these were. Bulwell Common Station closed in 1963, with Bulwell Market the following year. The last thing to disappear from the landscape was the Bulwell Viaduct, which ran from Bestwood Road over where Morrison stands today and then behind Ken Martin's. This photo, taken around 1897, shows the viaduct built by Logan and Hemingway almost complete. It was 357 metres long and consisted of 25 arches, each arch a little over 40 foot high and 32 foot wide. Although it may seem odd to some, the 1960s saw the demolition of 3 large Bulwell churches. To understand why 2 of them were demolished, you need to understand a little of the history of the Methodists. At the turn of the century, the Methodist faith was split into several factions, the 3 main ones being the Primitive Methodists, the Wesleyan Methodist Church, and the United Methodists. In 1932, these 3 factions became united to form the Methodist Church of Great Britain. At that time, Bulwell had 3 Methodist churches, and the decision was taken to merge them into one church, the New Connection Church at the bottom of Ragdale Road, this being considered cheaper to run. Therefore, in the 1960s, the following 2 churches were knocked down. The Wesleyan Methodist Church stood on Vere Street, where the bus station stands now. It was built in 1882 for a cost of £3,500 and was designed by John Wills of Derby. When the churches merged, it stood empty for a period of time before succumbing to vandalism and then a fire. It was finally knocked down and the bus station built in its place. The primitive Methodist chapel stood on the corner of Thames Street and Commercial Road. It was built in 1888 and finally closed its doors in September 1968. There are limited photos of both churches available, but those pictures that survive show two large churches that even today would be impressive. It's a shame they were demolished along with large parts of Bulwell in the 1960s. The third church was the Church of Christ on Coventry Road. This was placed under a compulsory purchase order in 1969 and its members transferred to the United Reformed Church on Broomhill Road. I'll leave you with one final thing for now. Before Morrison's, Tesco's, Find Fair, Food Giant and Quick Save, there was the Co-op. And it's hard to believe that Bulwell once had 5 co-ops. Most people remember the big co-op where Wilkinson stands today, but there was one on Highbury Vale at the site of old Highbury Cinema, one next to the old Bull and Butcher, one on Commercial Road, and finally a specialist electrical one on Main Street to the left of B&M Bargains. If you've got any old photographs of Bulwell hidden away in the attic, then please get in touch and let us scan them in and display them to the group for everybody to see.